Possible she wants you to. There is one way to ask her.
This is apparently problematic now. Your favorite Disney movie, The Little Mermaid, is beyond disgusting, because how dare they sing a song about a guy who a girl likes being pressured into kissing said girl. A lot of Disney remakes are being remade under the guise of trying to fit the modern audience expectations when none of the modern audiences or normal people had a problem with the original movies in the first place. Not only did they change the iconic character from what everybody is used to seeing, they have to change the iconic songs that everybody loved. At this point, I really don't even know why they're calling it The Little Mermaid. They should just rename it to The New Mermaid, because it's clearly going to be a different movie, and that's fine. If they wanted to make a movie about a progressive Little Mermaid, they should have just named it something else instead of marketing it initially to pretend as though they were giving you a live-action version of the original Little Mermaid. It's astoundingly annoying to the point where it seems as though the studios are dragging out an extreme April Fool's joke that knows no end and lasts the entire year. For us to understand why they're changing the songs, let's first look at the original songs from Little Mermaid, the ones that they claim they're going to change, to understand what was so problematic about them. An article published on April 4, 2023 claimed the new Little Mermaid remake changed lyrics from the original songs to emphasize consent and empower girls. Let's take a look at the lyrics. Let's just breeze through it, shall we? There you see her, sitting there across the way. She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her, and you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You want to kiss the girl. Yes, you want her. Look at her. You know you do. Possible she wants you too. There's one way to ask her. Don't take a word, not a single word. Go on and kiss the girl. Sing with me now. My oh my, looks like the boy's too shy. Ain't gonna kiss the girl. Ain't that sad? Ain't it a shame? Too bad. He's gonna miss the girl. Now's your moment. Floating in a blue lagoon. Boy, you better do it soon. No time will be better. She don't say a word and she won't say a word until you kiss the girl. Don't be scared. You got the mood prepared. Go on and kiss the girl. Don't stop now. Don't try to hide it now. You want to kiss the girl. Float along and listen to the song. The song says kiss the girl. The music play. Do what the music say. You gotta kiss the girl. You've got to kiss the girl. Oh, you don't want to kiss the girl? You've got to kiss the girl. Go on and kiss the girl. All joking aside, when looking back at the scene, one thing is very clear. The only person who requires consent in this entire scenario is the dude. Ariel is the one who wants to be kissed, and there are several times when she tries to make a move and Eric just straight up sidelines her and rejects her. She's clearly sad when he doesn't want to kiss her, while the entire ecosystem of that pond is subliminally messaging him to do the very thing that he does not want to do. How is rewriting the song empowering women when the woman was the one going out of her way to try and get this man to fall in love with her and kiss her? Eric clearly was not interested throughout the majority of the movie. He was bewitched by Ariel's voice, which is something that mermaids have the power to do. And he was only interested in that person who saved his life, which had that voice. Again, something that was not really of his own volition because he was bewitched. I know nobody thinks this is the case, but they even prove it later on in the movie when the evil Ursula, under the guise of the woman who wants to marry him, uses Ariel's voice to be with him and put him under a spell or a trance. It's evident that mermaid voices possess the ability to attract sailors or men towards them, as seen in various folklore where mermaids are often interchangeable with sirens who do the same. In many of these tales, mermaids are often portrayed as evil creatures who entice sailors or men into the water with their voices only to drown them. However, Ariel is unlike most mermaids. She's a kind-hearted mermaid who actually loves humans and straight up rescues Eric. Nevertheless, her voice retains its bewitching quality, and I believe that this power is inherent in most mermaids, which is why Eric ended up falling in love with her instantly after hearing her voice. Her voice is the only thing that he can see or remembers, even though he saw her face looking at him when he opened his eyes.
I knew it. You're the one I've been looking for. You can't speak? Then you couldn't be who I thought.
He knew it couldn't be her when she gained her legs, even though she looked just like her, because she couldn't speak. The only thing he was concerned about, again, is the voice. Now, all of that theorizing aside, even without that, again, Ariel, she is the one who wants to kiss him, and she doesn't ask for his consent. She could have written it down too, you know what I mean? The song should be written in such a way that doesn't seem to be pressuring the guy into kissing the girl for her amusement or desire. I cannot see how they made it about that. Also, They want to change the Poor Unfortunate Soul song by Ursula because it mentions that up on the surface women are to be silent and people like when women are silent. Given that the villain is the one who sings that song, why would anyone want to change it? After all, she is the problematic character, and it makes sense that the song she sings is problematic as well, given her villainous nature. You know, like Be Prepared when Scar was singing it. No one asked to change his music, even though they kind of did. So why would anyone believe what she is saying? She's evil, so she has to sing an evil song, something that doesn't empower women. It would make sense for people to be outraged and find a problem if Ariel herself was singing that, but she isn't. The whole premise for The Little Mermaid is liberation and empowerment, and a woman going after what she wants despite the social norms and limitations set by her society, including the wishes of her father, the king. Why are they making this live-action remake seem as though it's doing something revolutionary when the original Little Mermaid movie itself was already empowering and revolutionary? The only image that comes to my mind with the stupidity of all of this is someone taking a goat from over their neighbor's fence so they can bring it into their yard and spank it. Don't ask me why that's the image I get, but the way you feel about that statement is exactly the way I feel about them doing this. What are they gonna change it to? Oh, maybe the new catchy song with the less problematic lyrics will be this. There you see her, she cannot make a mistake. She's too powerful to fall in love with this bastard. She has the last word cause she's Amber Heard. She's such a bitchy girl. Sure, if they use that same tune, it's still catchy, but I have a feeling the passion and mood that went along with the first one will be completely lost on the skeletal version. When my mom showed me this movie when I was little, I was addicted to it, and I knew every lyric of every song, and this was my favorite song of the entire movie. Never at any time when I watched it, including when I grew up and I could understand what it was saying, did I feel as though consent was needed. It's funny how girls say they want romance and for guys to make the first move, but no, they don't want them to make the first move. They're mad because there's no men out there approaching them anymore, but when men approach them, they get upset and say that they didn't get consent or that they're pervy because they approached them. It's very clear through their body language and expression that Eric does find her attractive somewhat, but he doesn't have an emotional connection with her, which is why he doesn't feel comfortable kissing her. And what's even more clear is that Ariel is way into him. You know, human beings have these things called eyes that do a lot of talking, which is why humans are visual creatures and why we have our freaking eyebrows to emote. I mean, it's the whole premise for the freaking emojis that we use to text, especially girls. You notice that girls use way more emojis than men do because girls tend to give those signals way more because men are visual creatures, so we evolved to be able to talk with our eyes more expressively than men do, so men can pick up on our cues. You can usually tell if somebody is angry, sad, or happy just looking at their eyes. You can tell if someone looks uncomfortable with their eyes, and if they want you or desire you with their eyes. Nothing else is needed. The eyes and the eyebrows do a very good job at conveying whatever emotion that you're feeling, whether you can speak or not, and this is shown because Ariel does not have her voice, which she sacrificed towards going on the surface and getting this human body and pursuing this dude. She is the one pursuing the dude. She is the one pining after him and trying to force herself on him. Let's break down the first verse of the song. There you see her, sitting there across the way. She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her. And you don't know why, but you're dying to try. You wanna kiss the girl.
Right? And still she had to keep singing.
Sha-la-la-la-la-la, don't be scared. You got the moves prepared. Go on.
Oh my god, I love the song so much. I want to go back and watch the movie again. So Eric noticed her, and yes, you can say that Sebastian can be a stand-in for his conscience or his inner voice. Look at the way Ariel looks at him. Look at the way she stares at him. You look at someone like this, and you tell me if that person is telling you that they don't want you to kiss them.
And this is one of the most brilliant shots, I think, that the animators managed, because she's obviously pushing this a little bit farther than he knows what to do with. And so they're wrestling, and she licks him, and then she lays down and makes this face, which is every single class I've ever showed this to, all laugh when they see that image. And this is an archetypal facial expression, and everyone knows exactly what it means. There's something sexually seductive about it, something very sexually seductive about it, despite the fact that it's a lioness.
We lost him.
Consent where? They're both around the same age, give or take 2 years. Ariel is giving him all the signs to kiss her, and this is something that frustrates women when dudes don't make the first move, and why it's super confusing to guys when it comes to girls, because they overcomplicate everything. You mean to tell me that someone looking at you as though they want to undress you with their eyes and devour you means that they're not into you, and they don't want you anywhere near them, even though they are doing everything to be near to you, doing all the actions to convey to you. And then girls get mad because guys can't read their minds. It is so annoying. Like, if I was someone who dated girls, and I was like more masculine, and I was the chaser, this would frustrate the fuck out of me. It really would. As someone who is very shy and very introverted, there are so many situations where I was really into a guy who was also introverted, and none of us did anything. Meanwhile, I was screaming on the inside for him to make a move. Like, you know that feeling, that tense feeling when you're like, oh my God, I'm so nervous because I really want him to do something. I really want him to kiss me. I really want him to just grab me and hold. Like, I really want that. Like, your entire body and the tension all around you is screaming at this person to just come on. I could see at times that this person was into me by the way they were looking at me. And sometimes I couldn't, especially if I didn't like that person, because I was clueless sometimes. But there are situations where I was aware that he wanted to make a move, but he was scared. Only much later in life, after we reconnected after going to college, that I either admitted that I had a crush on them or they admitted that they had a crush on me. But every single one of them said they were too nervous to do anything. That they liked me, but they were too nervous to do anything. The extrovert boys didn't mind because they were brave and it was easy for them to go up and talk to people and girls because they had the confidence. For crying out loud, even my own husband, if I had not gone up to him and told him that I liked him outright, we probably wouldn't be here right now. After a while, I was pretty sure through every action he was doing that it was super obvious that he liked me, but he was super shy. And so one day when I couldn't take it anymore and I realized, you know, I made the same mistake in junior high in high school, and nothing came of that. So if I don't make the move, he's not going to make the move. So with a trembling voice and a body shaking like a dysfunctional vibrator for whales, I almost fainted from the sheer nervousness of admitting to my husband how I felt about him at the time. He obviously felt the same way, but said I had a lot of guts because apparently he was too terrified to go up and admit that. Judging from what I can see with Eric's personality, he is also an introvert, and you can see that through how shy he is with his feelings. He's also someone who doesn't want to just hook up with someone just for the sake of hooking up with them if he doesn't feel an emotional connection with them, which is why he backs off Ariel several times until he has the whole host of Pandora screaming and downright forcing him to kiss her. Tell me now, knowing all of that and seeing it, how is this a story about lack of consent on Ariel's part? But let's look at the second verse, because this is probably what people are saying is problematic. I won't sing this one, but man, I really do want to go back and watch the movie and sing along. Those were the movies, man. I'm so glad my parents exposed me to that. And there's still a lot of them that I haven't watched, but this is super iconic. Yes, you want her. Look at her. You know you do. Possible she wants you too. There's one way to ask her. It don't take a word, not a single word. Go on and kiss the girl. This is Sebastian trying to tell Eric, and also maybe doubling as his inner voice, trying to get him to get over his fear to make a move. This is also Sebastian trying to help out Ariel, because if she has the whole first love, true kiss thing going on that Disney usually does, she'll get what she wants, which is the only reason right now why she's trying to hurry up and force things along instead of having them occur naturally over time. She's only concerned about getting what she wants. She has taken the place of a Disney prince in this regard. Over time, in an organic manner, Eric might have grown to be attached to Ariel, but no thanks, must move quickly because she wants to keep her legs so she can open them later, you know? And Sebastian saying that there is only one way to ask her, due to the mood being set, is to lean in and make a move to kiss her. I cannot count how many times I was in a situation where a guy liked me and he leaned in to kiss me, and I turned my head and I feel so bad. I remember every single time that happened, and I feel horrible because I could see how embarrassed he was afterwards. I guess I naturally, like, have a friendly disposition or something, and unfortunately many people take that the wrong way and think I like them or I'm flirting with them when that's not the case. One of said situations, it happened in front of everybody, like my friends, strangers, and the guy leaned into me while we were all watching a movie, and I could feel that it was going to happen because there's this kind of tension that occurs, and the body language is very subtle body language, but it tells you very obviously what this person wants. Then through my peripheral vision, I see him kind of stare at me a little bit, and I'm thinking, oh no, it's gonna happen. And I think at the time I was with someone, that's probably why I didn't do it. Because I remember feeling like I want to, but I'm not gonna cheat on my partner. And no words needed to be said. The guy leans in and tries to kiss me. I turn my head away. He holds his head down in shame and embarrassment and rejection, and I feel like a piece of shit. Never once in my mind did I ever think to accuse him of not asking for consent. That was their way of saying, I like you, and that was my way of saying, no, I'm not gonna do this with you. And you know what happened in those cases? At least the ones where I was old enough to give consent. The guy's backed off. If a guy does not back off in that case, he's a piece of shit. But it does not mean that the very human and natural reaction of people who are attracted to each other leaning in for a kiss is wrong. There are also other times when I did want a kiss, and I didn't get it because the person was too shy, or they didn't know that I liked them, or when I did get it, I was very happy and it was super romantic and hot that a guy that I was into leaned in to kiss me. I can't explain how dry a punani can get when the mood is set and you want the guy to make a move and he stops and says to you, do you consent? Ugh, ew. To me, that's the equivalent of someone who I see as my really good friend asking if they can hug me when they see me crying or sad. Most of my friends would naturally hug me and hold me close. It's the same thing. When you have a clear situation before you and you have the ability as a human being to read body language, it's okay to ask with your body. Us women do it all the time, and we don't ask men for their consent. You may not even realize you're doing it, but you know some of the things that women do. They touch guys a lot. We find a reason to touch them, whether it be to hit them on the shoulder playfully, or the thigh, or touch them or tickle them, or just find something to do with our hands so we can have an excuse to touch them that's not consensual. But you know you're doing it. You know darn well what you're doing. So if we don't ask consent from guys to touch their abs or touch their face and touch everything on them and their hair, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Why are we expecting something that we don't give them? It has to go both ways. There's also nothing more unattractive than a guy who you think likes you, obviously, and who you like, saying to you after you touch him on the shoulder or tickle him, excuse you, you didn't get my consent to touch me. You did not get my consent to hug me or give me a kiss on the cheek. Goodbye. You should go to jail, you perv. Like, there needs to be a balance. There's a very obvious balance there, and people like to not take things into context for some reason. Obviously, if some random person comes up to you and tries to kiss you on the lips, that's disgusting. It's a violation. But if you have a clear relationship with someone and there is an attraction there and that person leans in slowly to try and make a move because one of you has to make the move first, you have enough time to say, actually, no, I'm not feeling this. Or you go ahead and kiss them and see where it goes from there. You can say no, you can. A girl knows, like guys know this too, but us girls usually know just from looking at a guy whether or not we want to sleep with him. I really wish some people in the comments would be like,
that's not true. That is not true.
Stop the cap!
You know, just looking at a dude, whether you're in a relationship or not, yeah, I'd fuck that person. It's okay to admit it. Guys do the same thing too. Whether they're in a relationship or not, they can look at a girl and say, yes, I would smash that. We're visual creatures. It's normal. So, I don't even know why this is a conversation. This is a conversation that should be had, yes, with parents and their children. I don't think the entirety of society has to be overturned or a freaking song changed just because of something like this. Anyway, the song goes on as saying that it looks like the boy's too shy. He's not going to kiss the girl. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that sad? He's going to miss the girl. So if he doesn't kiss her at that moment like she wants, he's not going to get her. And I'm sorry, but the whole last chorus section of the song is basically Sebastian and all his little pawn friends straight up coercing Eric to kiss Ariel. Check out the lyrics. Not gonna read the sha-la-la-la-la parts. Don't be scared. You got the mood prepared. Go on and kiss the girl. Don't stop now. Don't try to hide it how. You want to kiss the girl. Float along. Listen to the song. The song says kiss the girl. The music play. Do what the music say. You gotta kiss the girl. You've got to kiss the girl. Oh, don't you want to kiss the girl? Go on and kiss the girl. You gotta kiss the girl. It's like someone shooting an adult video and instructing the people as to what to do when they're obviously nervous and don't even know each other. The cameraman is like, yeah, put your finger all up in there, twist it, pull it, bop that shit. And near the end, before Ursula's eels ruin it, you see that Ariel is too leaning in at the same time, wanting that, very obviously. How is it a violation if she obviously several times makes a move with her body language to say, basically screaming from the mountaintops, that she wants it? I hate when modern films or studios try to act all progressive by making a mountain out of a molehill. Something that wasn't even an issue to begin with suddenly becomes an issue because they say so. I mean, are the people writing this, do they not date? Apparently not. Apparently, many of their wells have dried up or their cocks have fallen off a long time ago because they no longer even understand how human emotions, desire, body language, and the mind of women and men work. It's so infuriating and so unbelievable to me. Yes, you have to get consent from your little kids too to kiss them on the cheek. Your dog can't consent, so you can't kiss them. You know, when you do that thing with your dogs where you pull back their ears so far back so their eyes look like slits so you can kiss them on the nose? Or swallow their nose. I'm not saying I do that. I don't even know why I mentioned that. Anyway, but their faces are stretched to high hell. That's not consent, you know? Part of why that scene from the original Little Mermaid stuck out to me so much is because of how much tension was in it, with the nervousness and shyness of the boy and the girl wanting to get kissed. Probably for both of them, this was their first time experiencing something like this. I think more so on Ariel's point. I think Eric was just uncomfortable. I think all of us girls can relate to that at some point, unless we're uber prude. Anyways, it's really not that much of an issue. They're just trying to virtue signal to religious people? I don't know. I don't even know what this is for. But yeah, y'all can tell me what you feel. Girls, be honest. Am I wrong here? Because like I said in another video I made, there's a reason why there is a very large market for erotica and men pursuing women and women getting off on that being a fantasy. You know, there is a balance. There is creepy and inappropriate, and there is romantic and hot. It is so easy to decipher what those are if you were a normal functioning human being. And apparently, that is not what the people who are writing these movies or advocating for these changes are. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.